Hello and welcome back to the rep recap. I keep wanting to say the rep
The
recast.
recast.
I
Yeah, the
do.
recast also works, but recap is like because we have the P at the end.
Yeah, no,
That's
it's
what I
better.
always remember.
It's better. The
Yep,
rep
yep.
recap Monday edition. Chat, me and Shaur are sticking it out. Mondays, Sundays, and Wednesdays. You can catch us here right now talking about all things RMUC, RMNA. That'll be pretty much for the whole summer, frankly. We've got
Yeah,
RMNA this June coming up in just a few short weeks. And then
2 weeks.
yeah, basic. Oh gosh, I need to
Two
ship some
weeks.
stuff. Ah,
I need to
um,
ship myself, Preston.
yeah, no kidding. And then next month we've got RMUC continuing to ramp up. We'll
Mhm.
have international finals coming around end of July. Very very exciting. And then it will be August slash September. Hey Swagger, thanks for the follow. If you guys are joining us for these podcasts where we are doing so much RMNA stuff, RMUC stuff, throw in the comments other things you want to see. Do you want to see us cover combat robotics events? Do you want to see us cover esports and video games? Do you want to see us? You want to see? I mean, we've talked about doing a Let's Play RoboMasters. I think that could be a whole like 2 year long series that we just kind of do like once a week or something. All sorts of options, all sorts of ideas. So let us know in the comments. You can throw them in live whenever we're here on Twitch, or you can throw them in the YouTube comments, and we'll catch up on those as we can. But for tonight, Shaur, we've got more RMUC. We're chewing our way through the Central Division, trying to just
Mhm.
stay apprised of what's going on in the university championship world of RoboMasters, getting ready for those all important international finals come in July.
Yeah, we're at the Central Division today, and I think we're going to be covering. We're going to be covering two group matches today that I selected. This is the first time, chat, that I selected these group matches, and was like, "Oh, we're going to pick the ones that I'm picking." And so I'm pretty excited about these ones. I haven't seen any actual footage from them, but I was like, these. I picked one because it has a funny team name, and I picked the other one because like, oh, I recognize that name from previous RMUC.
Dude, some of
But
these
yeah,
team names are wild. I'm always bummed when like I pick one based on team names and then the team name's in English in the video description and then it's in
uh-huh.
Chinese for the actual video and I can't remember what
Yeah,
it is. But there's
yep,
some
yep.
team that's like the living deer or something, and I mean there's some good ones.
There are some
Um,
good ones for sure.
there are some that I just don't think translate well. Like
Mhm.
is it one hitter? There's one of these teams that has a really
Yes,
impressive team, and then their thing is the army arrives, and I'm like, okay, that probably sounds really cool in Chinese, but in English,
yeah.
like, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
There is so it's one hitter. It's not I hitter. It looked like an I to me
Okay,
originally.
it's one of those two. I've been saying it back and forth for years.
Chat, do you know if it's one hitter or I hitter? Whoever's here. Anyone know? If you
It's one of the
know,
two.
you get an award. You get a little high five from me at
We'll
competition.
figure it out. We need to put some
We'll
respect
figure
on
it
their
out.
name, though. They're former
Absolutely.
champions, absolute goats of the Central Region. So
Oh yeah. And actually, perhaps even a little spoiler alert. I believe I have a match selected for them today for one of their
oh
group
well,
matches. So we'll
then
see. We'll see if they show
let's
up.
just jump in and see what happens.
Anyways, let's dive in. This first one here we've got is going to be Hello World versus a team name that I can't tell yet, but I am getting the Google Translate out so we can see it.
Hey, there we go. Hello World is one I'm familiar with, though, which must
Yes.
mean they're good.
Yeah. Hello World's on the right in the blue.
Goodness gracious,
And on the
Shar.
left,
Groups, all of the robots look so impressive. And I understand that
yeah,
groups, even in these regional competitions, right, this isn't the lowest level of competition available in China. They do have university leagues, so newer teams will go through, kind of a bottom up grassroots. This is still some really impressive teams.
yeah, that makes sense. Let me get my Google Lens out real quick here, and we can see what these people's name is. Yeah, but we see Hello World on the left side in the blue, and if I hit translate here, on the right we have Junlin, National University of Defense Technology, NUDT, Junlin. Yeah. But yeah, we see these robots coming onto the field. At least if I can read some of these stats, at least for Hello World. 2023 and 2024, it looks like national champion top 16 and national champion fourth place. So really, really strong team in the last 2 years. Their tagline is "Why fear the sky? Soaring to the sky." Assuming that means like "Don't be afraid to fly" or something. Probably be a more accurate English translation. Um, very, very solid team. Like Preston was mentioning, we see them. They got top 16 in the full competition in 2023. Got top 4 last year, so definitely gunning for the winning the whole thing. Perhaps the team on the left here, Jin Lin. Not one that I recognize personally, Preston. I don't know if you maybe recognize them instead. Look at that
Ooh,
Sentry.
I
It's
bet
a
there's
one
another turret
barrel.
on the back. Is there another
You think
turret
it's a
on the
little on the
back?
back? If it turns around, we can find out.
Because I see 2 LVDT modules. I noticed that it can only sweep a very small angle. It is swerve drive, which is really cool. This is a very
Yeah.
impressive sentry. A massive hopper in between the 2 barrels, perhaps.
You know the white little armor, not armor
The
panels, but
bumpers,
the
yeah.
bumpers. Yeah, they remind me of the Tamu bot from like 2-3 years ago with the same white bumper design.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at the little mesh there. That's to protect the balls getting into the electronics for the engineer. I'm guessing they don't have the same kind of like plate design to keep it light. Um, yeah. Also, this one looks like a backpack bot. I would assume that little area in the middle would be able to hold cubes. So another backpack bot instance. It feels like.
It's almost like a frocket, though, like a front pack.
Yeah.
I think it'll actually be reaching over these existing cubes. We'll keep an eye on
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah. Yeah.
as that engineer tries to navigate the field. It doesn't. I mean, this looks like a shelf, though. The other ones we've seen have had
Yeah.
other suction cups or some sort of like
Yep.
pressure points, some sort of interference fit. But
Yeah.
this looks like
Looking
a
at
literal shelf where you're just gonna set
Yeah.
the block down and then drive nicely.
Looking at NDUT's or National University of Defense Technology, the red team, their engineer does have backpack slots in the back, 2 of them. So they have the more traditional backpack design we saw with Scud, which we saw with yesterday with ECUT as well, and the other teams that were playing like Taurus. So that's what we've seen more of is that backpack design.
It does look like I was wrong. It looks like Hello World is running a single-barreled Sentry, which I
I
think we
don't hate
discussed
it.
yesterday. Yeah, that single-barreled Sentry is not that bad of a move. You don't actually need the DPS from a double barrel.
Yeah, absolutely. I really don't hate it at all. I think it's a pretty interesting idea to go with. It gives you the ability, in my opinion, to like you're not as worried about just mag dumping, for example, and you only have one. It's the same code as your standard, right? No change at all in terms of like which barrel you're firing from. You have one to worry about. You simplify the whole design. And as we talked about in a previous stream, simplification is the friend of progress in this case because it allows you to get forward and throughout the competition, right? Tournament characters versus not tournament characters. Anyways, the bases are closing up. The referee system is initializing. It has been 10 years since RMUC has been being held in China, 5 years for RMNA. That's why we have that nice 10th logo in the bottom. And we're about to kick off this round of groups in the Central Regional in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. National University of Defense and Technology versus Hello World.
You can see the National Defensive Technology has a triple backpack, so we'll see how each of these engineers look like they're both going for their silver cubes for the start.
Yep.
Early drone from
the Hello World drone is out earlier, but the National University of Defense Technology is not far behind. NUDT, they're right there as well.
Oh my goodness.
I feel like they knocked out their own sentry a little bit there on the National University of Defense Technology. NUDT's projectiles might have hit their sentry or their standard plate there, but it is trying to chase down the other standard out of that barricade. Oh my god, that level 3 standard on Hello World side demolished the standard 4. That was a crazy demolish from that side. Now it's a level 5.
The sentry for Hello World combined with the drone from Hello World are able to take the outpost all the way down to 10 HP. I thought for sure by the time I finished the sentence they were going to empty it. The hero for National Defense starting to hit some shots onto the outpost combined with the drone catching up quickly in objective damage. The drones, we've seen that one pilot that did an excellent job of tracking the spinning armor panels. Other than that, I think the hit percentage is probably below 10% for almost all of these other drone pilots.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I think that the hit percent of the drones just not been solid enough. I feel like the best teams we've seen have been getting those heroes up and involved, which if you look at Hello World, their hero hasn't really done too much, has 10 projectiles, hasn't really shot anything. It's lining up currently, but it kind of just keeps bumping into the wall there. I wonder if it's trying to get a better shot or a better
very
angle.
Close economy race here as you saw both engineers trying to get those silver cubes in. NUDT a little bit faster at finishing that puzzle.
Yep, NUDT does have a little bit more econ at this point, but not too far behind is Hello World. However, NUDT is having to spend more econ because they are behind in level advantage. Let's check out those standards. The standard 3 on the red side is a level 2. Standard 3 on the blue side is a level 8, almost 10, it looks like.
Dart coming across for the base, very
10.
close. Comes the second dart.
Almost there. That one's a little bit too low.
Hello World's got a good lead right now. They've taken the
4
outpost
darts
out. None of
shot
the
in
darts
one
hitting.
time.
But and now blue standard 3 trying to see what he can do.
This blue standard 3 is harassing
very low,
the red
even
team.
in the base.
I really like this play. Blue standard 3 has like a huge level advantage. It's level 10 compared to every other robot, which barely eclipses level 3 at this point for like standard 4. It can definitely go in there and it can do a lot of damage. Keep the hero from doing anything significant. Keep both the standards locked down. It's just gone.
Yeah, blue standard 4
like
getting the kill that time, doing all of the damage. Very impressive. I mean, they don't have to back off now. Blue standard 3, blue standard 4. 4 is running a little low on projectiles. It's going to have to engage with the sentry perhaps from NUDT. But I agree with you. The level advantage will go away over time because of passive XP. So I think if you have a large level advantage, you should push. You should be aggressive with it. Use it while you've got it because you will lose it.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the cockpit now of blue standard 3, this robot with so much agency that Shaur was just talking about. I also love what blue standard 3 and blue standard 4 are doing right now. They're landing a lot, and the drone for Hello World also participating, hitting a lot of shots onto the base. Each one barely doing any damage, but that's plenty. Getting some sort of damage onto the base is going to just widen that lead, add a second layer of objective lead to your round. Blue standard 3 chasing red hero 1 all the way back to the base. Will be able to get back to the resupply zone. He will, but he'll coast in dead.
Yeah, both red standard 3, red standard 1, and the red engineer out at this point in time is a really, really big downside for our NUDT. It's going to be difficult for them to come back at this point. With 2 minutes and 48 seconds, it's doable. Their drone is also active, can maybe start putting some pressure fire. But look, this red standard 4 just cannot compete with blue standard 3. Look how much of the level advantage. 5 levels on top is so significant. That's essentially the difference between level 2 and level 3 from last competition years. Yeah. And there goes hero 1 again. Hello World just knows that they cannot win if they don't have the hero active and just keeps going for it every time. This blue standard 3 is just constantly coming back, killing the hero, taking 1 or 2 standards with it, leaving, coming back, killing the hero, doing the same thing.
Yeah, in contrast, though, I think Hello World is going to win without doing anything with their hero. Still just with 10 projectiles loaded, I don't believe they fired a single projectile, still level 1. Definitely having some sort of issue.
Parked at the back. If you look at the mini map on the right, it's parked at the very back of the base on the blue side. It's really not going anywhere.
Yeah, it was just in the middle. It did retreat, as you pointed out, all the way back to the base. I think maybe giving up on being able to fire. Is this CV? Yeah. What the heck? Is this shaky cam that darting back and forth? Do you think that's their aim assist trying to keep up with the panel rotations?
That has to be aim assist. See, because right now it's not doing that.
I'm just not sure that's actually helpful.
Well, it is melting that hero again.
Yeah.
Both standards teaming up to melt it really quickly, and red standard 4 just cannot do any damage to either of these level 10 standards from Hello World. They don't even care. Oh, but the blue hero's getting involved as well. What's he doing over here?
He's emotionally involved.
he's just support. He's just there to look nice.
I mean, he's soaking some damage and some attention, which to be fair is important, but a level 1 hero is still very squishy.
Yeah, especially against a level 6 standard at this point. You're not really going to get a lot off of just having it there.
Yeah, I really
Red Sentry not really firing projectiles anymore either, which is interesting because it still has 497 to use. Maybe it's physically out of projectiles. Could be one of the things going on there.
Could be. This is a very weird game state. I feel like Blue Standard 3 and Blue Standard 4 should just go up onto the ramp and be firing at the base.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're trying to fire from the ground, and it's a very difficult angle.
They're doing a little bit of damage.
They are.
They're hitting a little bit. They're deflecting enough to do 1 damage per shot. That's not the worst. It's not good. It's not the worst.
Yeah, but if they go up this curb that's right behind Blue Standard 3, I believe they will have a much better angle. Unfortunately, Blue Standard 3 is going to get chased away. Red Standard 3, Red Standard 4 doing an okay job defending, but defending's not the move when you're behind and you've got 10 seconds left. Hello World able to take round 1 with no hero. Really impressive round from their
very strange round in general. Kind of interesting to me also is that the Red Standard 4 kind of parked in that center zone and just stayed there
Yeah.
and sometimes shot, but sometimes didn't. Clearly, some mechanical and technical issues going on for that team, and maybe some technical and mechanical issues going on for the blue team as well. Hello World. Colonel John in chat, emotionally involved is the most dangerous type of involved to be. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all.
Yeah, so Hello World did a great job of capitalizing on the lead that they did get. We talk all the time about going into a game with strategy, but also allowing your strategy to change based on the game circumstance.
Absolutely.
Taking a peek right here, it confirms for us that the hero was not functional for Hello World. 0 projectiles fired, but 15-1 kills is the name of the game. This is the story of the round. The standards from Hello World got that early level advantage and then just spawn killed on repeat. The robots from NUDT, not allowing them to get any XP, never allowing them to get back in the game, just choking them out from any. I mean, more than double the damage. Right? It's
Yeah.
not a close game, even though there was a
It was
robot
not a close
disadvantage.
game. I think actually, so that right there, I think is what really highlights how that level 3 standard got such an advantage at the beginning and was able to basically lock down the whole red team by itself. It knocks out red standard 3 at the very beginning of the game, gets to level 3, level 4 with first blood, and then knocks out red standard 4 as well right afterwards, getting up to level 7. And it just like was able to win the whole game essentially by itself. And that's why blue standard 3, definitely the MVP of that team.
And
Incredibly solid play.
They did do a great job of investing in Blue Standard 3, right? In those replays,
Absolutely.
you saw all of the airdrop resources they allow, giving more virtual projectiles, giving health packs to that robot across the map, allowing Blue Standard 3 to stay on the enemy side.
Yeah.
Omni wheels. The design we see, in my opinion, a little bit less now, but Blue Standard 3 and Blue Standard 4 both running Omni wheels.
Yeah. Is it called an X drive in this pattern, or is that a different kind of drivetrain? X drive's the opposite direction, right? Am I mistaken?
No, I'm. Hold on, I'm thinking. Yeah.
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 I think I'd call it the opposite direction.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge Omni wheel guy, to be completely frank with you. I've done a bunch
Yeah,
of Magnum. I've done a bunch of Swerve. I've never actually run a whole bunch of Omni. I think Omni's pretty popular in like the first world.
Yeah, it's incredibly popular in the first world because it's really light, is my understanding. And obviously, in the first world, you want to have a lot more like room to build your climbing materials, your like weird intakes and outtakes because you're manipulating way larger projectiles. But I think for Robomaster, the like speed and like just efficiency of Beckenham is way more important, as well as like because you have way more field elements to worry about, right? That can like break your can break your drive down, can like get you into trouble, and so on and so forth.
Blue Hero 1, hopefully we'll see it functioning this round. You can see them repacking that bottom hopper. We're seeing more and more. I think almost every round we've seen so far in the regionals has had a bottom-fed hero with a very rectangular hopper.
Yeah. Someone moving that hero around while they're trying to pack it up. Looks like we're engaging in a technical timeout of some kind.
Yeah, this will be a good moment to see. There we go. The hero is able to fire into the bag. So looks like Hello World will be hopefully at full strength for round 2.
Yeah. And if that is the case, I'm a little bit worried for NDUT or NUDT. I'm a little worried for NUDT because you lost already to like basically one standard. And now the hero's available. That base health is going to drop so fast.
Dang, I love the design of that hero. It is so slim.
It's scuttling around.
Looks
like
extremely fast. It's got very rectangular tank-like dimensions. Typically in Robomasters, we see a lot of square and circle-shaped bots.
Yeah, I think the only like tank-like proportions I can think of off the top of my head, robot-wise, is like NUS. They have a standard that's like tank-like, and that one side is a little bit longer than the other.
And I think the map elements this year have influence. You can see the tunnels getting into the center area are a little more narrow than in years past. So for bots where you need more stuff, like a hero, where you want a larger volume for hoppers, you're probably going to have to you want larger radius for your tubes that you're going to use to feed your projectiles. You do want a long rectangle shape.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Yep, the hero is indeed looking functional. Every other robot looks good on the blue side here for Hello World. We didn't quite watch the engineer very closely, Preston. We got to keep an eye on it this time to see how it's putting the cubes in.
One other thing I wanted to mention about the Blue Hero, it has a very long cantilevered barrel. This is something that a lot of teams mechanically and code-wise struggle with. It's difficult to tune. You see how far out that barrel comes from the pivot point on the Hero?
Yeah.
That can be really, really difficult if it's not balanced well on your motor. Like if you see the Sentry that's spinning right now, you can see how it's about halfway where it's pivoting. It can be difficult to tune it code wise so that you have smooth controlled pitch. Your motor will really struggle, even though the 6020s are very strong. If you're using a 6020, which is in my opinion the most common option for a pitch motor,
Yeah.
it can really prove to be a large challenge. So I've seen teams, I mean, even use like springs and elastomers in the past to try and pull back to kind of offset some of that.
That makes sense. Well, let's see what it does in this game, starting in 2-1, second round of NUDT versus Hello World. Both engineers going for the silver cubes again. I want to watch it a little closer this time and see how it puts it into that box. Sentry taking over the center for Hello World. Drone also getting there a lot faster. Standard 4 is also there. Everyone is in position already for Hello World, whereas NUDT kind of has to play a little bit behind. Okay, so yeah, there we see. It is a platform.
Getting melted. Is that the Sentry? Is that the drone?
It is a combination of both, I believe. Sentry and drone. You can see the ticks are a little bit faster than both are firing. Yep, together they're able to completely knock out the outpost. The Hero doesn't even spend any shots. It still has 10 projectiles. It's probably going to line up now for shots in the base, I would assume.
Blue Standard 4 doing an excellent job harassing. We can get back out, and he will. Taking Red Standard 4 and taking a chunk of health off of the Red Engineer.
Here we go. That Hero is active this time for Hello World. Red Hero 1 also lost to that drone over there, which is a pretty big loss in my opinion for NUDT. They're going to suffer a lot more without that Hero being active or able to get XP. It's going back now to reheal. But as we're seeing these shots connect on the Hello World side, the Outpost has barely taken any damage, and they have full control of the center. This is an absolutely sweeping performance by Hello World.
I agree. I think the biggest difference in this round was that drone accuracy. We watched a ton of shots come out from NUDT, but they just weren't landing.
Yep. Red Standard 4 also down again.
There's a second.
The NUDT drone suffering a lot with its accuracy, hasn't really landed any of the shots that its drone has been going for.
And that's not... I mean, we've looked through the cockpit from the drones. It's a difficult shot, but Hello World is really showing what's possible as Blue Standard 3 continuing his role as a menace on the side of Red's base.
Looking at that Blue Sentry, by the way, just kind of standing there in the center. What's going on there? Yeah, Blue Hero 1 needing to adjust his aim a little bit every time. There we go. Now he's getting it out of projectiles, but he's gonna come back soon. This is your last chance as NUDT to make anything happen. You got 10 projectiles on your hero. Your hero's a level 1. You cannot let it perish again. Both your standards are gone. Red Standard 4 is barely reviving. Blue Standard 3 immediately capitalizing on it, knocking out Red Hero 1 yet again, and now I think the game is over. At that point, there really is something that you can do to come back. Blue Standard 3 is just so much higher level than you. Your Red Hero is out for another couple of seconds. Unless they hit the revive. They hit the revive button. Maybe they can bring it back.
Yeah, I think Blue Standard 3 is misplaying a little bit right now. No projectiles on the hopper. This just isn't a useful thing to be doing.
Yeah.
Took just going back 20 seconds before retreating. But at this point, right, I'm complaining about min-maxing. It's just a high efficiency move.
Red Standard 4 taking that defense buff by sitting in that little zone and fighting Blue Standard 4. Red Hero trying to launch projectiles. Blue Hero, however, has already taken aim and is firing. Taking his time to line up the shots. He's hitting.
3 more and he'll finish the game off. The red team does a good job of turtling, but turtling doesn't work when the hero's on the other side of the central island.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
you gotta go make a play.
The drone really the only one aiming for the outpost. The hero is going to try, but
he's trying, but it's really, also is really far off. Just can't really do much in this situation. Blue Center 3, Red Center 3 just making a mockery of everyone on their base at the moment. Taking out the red sentry again. Do they even need to do this anymore?
Well, you got to remember this is just regionals, and a team like Hello World that placed top 5 last year will want the full size map trial time, the 7 versus 7 scrim experience.
Absolutely.
So you're not
And they're
willing to
trying to
throw
make a little bit of a
around
longer sniper shot. Yeah.
exactly, but you do want to field test a little bit extra.
Yep. We're seeing that engineer come in with like 3 gold cubes on it, I think. It had a lot in its backpack, or its front pack, I should say. Its front, if you will.
Yeah, I've been really impressed. Both of the engineers performed. Oh my goodness, that dart hit for
Barely
1.
missed it. Barely missed it. Here comes another one. Slightly low. We see a third.
I mean, the dart in particular would be an excellent reason to drag out the second round if you're Hello World.
Yeah.
One of the more
they are
difficult
closing off that
things
dart
to practice in your own space. The sentry for Hello World was extremely effective taking the outpost, but that's all it does, right? It drives up, it shoots the outpost, and then it just kind of sits.
And then it stares at the rune and goes, I wonder what I can do with this. The drone actually doing a little bit of damage now to the base. Is firing very long shots, probably getting some practice in there as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, it does appear that NUDT is aware that they've lost this round and seem to have. I mean, they haven't all given up per se, but no one's really firing at the outpost anymore.
Yeah.
That will be
one more
round
hero
2
shot
and
will
the
do
match
it.
for Hello World.
Yeah, once that hero was up and running and they had no way of leaving their field because Blue Center 3 and Blue Center 4 would just lock them all down, it was kind of over. There really wasn't anything you can do. Like, yeah, you turtle for a little bit, you maybe prolong the match, but you're not making progress on the objectives. You're just kind of firing at will, hoping that things will work out for you.
It's really interesting because, and we're going to have a whole stream about game design, maybe next week. But in my opinion, the changes that DJI has been making in the last couple of years has been to reduce the snowball effect.
Absolutely.
Going from a 3-level system to a 10-level system, the stats are the exact same as last game, except for now Hello World also fired hero projectiles, 15 kills to 1 kill, 8,000 damage to 1,500 damage. I mean, it just wasn't close. This was a stomp.
There was nothing to say about it being close. But Hello World did amazingly. I mean, the robots are really well designed, really well engineered. And yeah, going back to that snowballing topic, I think part of it's also the robots themselves, design-wise, right? Like, Hello World was a lot faster to get places. Like, Hello World took the entire center area by themselves, essentially. We're already at red team. They're essentially playing with double the map that the red team is playing with, right? And having that much room to maneuver, having that much room to push in, to stop the hero from firing, as you just saw right there, and getting that first kill, like, really sets the ball well for them. Yeah, the hero getting the MVP is solid. I still think that Blue Center 3 is playing amazingly. It's constantly harassing the entire team, and 1v3s for like the first 1 minute and a half while the outpost goes down, which I think is like more than enough to give the hero like the time to actually fire those shots. But yeah.
Yeah, 100% agree. A good round though, a good match. Big fan. Hello World did an excellent job. Just like you just stated, NUDT, I had higher hopes round 2. I really thought round 1 they let it get away from them. But I thought they had an opportunity to kind of claw it back in round 2. They weren't outgunned, frankly. They had the same number of functional bots. That drone, that was the poorest accuracy percentage that we've seen in a competition against probably the highest accuracy percentage from a drone and sentry combo that we've seen. And those two it's a real nasty combination, Shaur.
Yeah, absolutely. That drone plus sentry is really, really solid. It did a ton of damage too. Like that was a highlight for sure to get that outpost down that fast. I do wish that sentry got more involved afterwards, though. I know, like, there's no point.
Yeah. 100%.
But like that sentry just kind of sitting there at the center, just staring at the power room, just going like, thinking about its day, smelling the roses. Maybe could have been a little bit more involved in the rest of the game, but
against higher tier teams, I think they'll need to switch that up.
Yeah,
I would
absolutely.
expect the outposts to fall. I don't think I've seen anyone successfully defend an outpost. It's too far forward. It's not really a defendable position. The drone has so much access to it, and there's nothing you can do against the drone. You're not allowed to fire projectiles at it. So I do think that in a high tier game, both outposts will fall in the first 40 seconds, and then you still need your sentry to push forward and be influential.
Yeah,
All right, Shaur, are you ready to push into game two?
absolutely.
All
This is the
right.
one with eye hitter that I was talking about. All right. Yeah. So on the right we have eye hitter. On the left we have Team Ultra from Chengdu University, and eye hitter from. Do you know what university they're from actually, Preston? I do not know off the top of my head, but I will Google Lens it.
No, I don't know the names of the universities. Usually I know the team names.
Let me pull up the Google Lens. Google Lens, my beloved. Translate. This is Team Ultra from Chengdu University.
I bet
They
it's
seem to be
HIT though, like some Chinese city name with an H, Institute of Technology.
that would make sense. It is Harbin Institute of Technology. Wow, good stuff. They are 2024 season Central Division top 32 for the red team here, Ultra. And I hitter, I'm sure they're about to show us their stats page. It's going to be very, very long. That is a team that has been into the finals, been into the grand finals, maybe even won perhaps a couple times.
Yes.
They've done some good stuff. Yeah, 2023 National Championship quarterfinals and 2024 National Championship semifinals. Absolutely amazing team.
Yeah,
They say
really,
that limits can be broken and perfection cannot be stopped.
yeah, high expectations for eye hitter.
Absolutely. Some high expectations for eye hitters match.
Taking a look at these bots, this hero is massive. This is a very tall hero robot, especially in contrast to the hero we just saw. We'll get a look at the engineer. Some top 5, some top 3 stats for the engineer. Very quick. Looks like a low time to resource.
Mm-hmm. I'll get some translations up real quick. Yeah, average economy, average ores exchange per game is that third stat, 5.7 ores per game. Average redemption difficulty is 3.0. They take the highest one every time.
Yep.
And average same time was the bottom number right there. Solid stats indeed. Very, very strong team.
Another set of Omni Wheel standards. Magnum wheeled engineers on both sides. This engineer looks a little bit more of what I'd call a traditional engineer, right? It's not a full mechanical arm. It looks like it's a rail-based or linear rail-based robot.
Yep, has a little suction cup on the end right there at the very tip, little rectangular design there.
I do like that their camera only has a limited range, very limited degrees of freedom in the on the pitch on the engineer. I think it can be tempting to get lost in the sauce when you're the engineer trying to grab a cube or trying to deposit a cube. I think you want your frame of view to stay fairly consistent to really help you get a gauge of depth. That's just my own 2 cents, though. It has no scientific foundation or anything. I just feel like if you move your camera too much, you'll lose kind of the reference you just had while you were trying to get this dang thing in the box.
I think that's fair. I think I agree with that. I think it's very likely that, as you were mentioning, it's likely that you lose track of where the cube is, you lose track of a million other things. There's so much to always be thinking about when you're playing these games, right? And making it easier, simplicity, again, as we come back to, simplicity is the friend of progress in this case.
Sentry for one hitter looks very standard, like a standard robot, not very normal for a sentry. It's very small. Currently not scanning, has a very rectangular base. Again, most of the sentries we're seeing are double-barreled and usually very circular due to their multi-directionary nature.
Bases are closing up. We're about to get started with this round.
I'm ready to get real hyped.
I'm very excited. I hope that iHitter really performs well here. And I'm also curious how this Ultra team will perform. They did get the top 32 last year, so they're not a nobody team by any means. They're new for sure, but they're not like completely lost by any means. But we're about to see in 4, 3, 2, 1 match start. Chengdu University Ultra versus iHitter Harbin Institute of Technology. Engineers both going for the silver cubes again. I think this is interesting that we've only ever seen the engineers go for the gold cubes like one match in the southern region. It hasn't really been a thing that people have been doing otherwise.
Uh-oh.
Look at how fast that engineer picked up that cube.
Yeah, the Century for Ultra has stopped on the ramp. There we go. It's got back going.
That was so beautiful. 2 cubes already for both engineers. Picked up incredibly quickly. Ultra a little bit faster to go and deposit. Drones are out, starting to do some damage to the outpost. The iHitter hero also trying to hit that, but the first one to hit is Ultra's hero. Ultra's hero taking the first hero shot.
Ultra hero is taking some damage though. Outpost for Ultra falling very, very low as now the Sentry, the hero, and the drone all getting involved. The dart will not connect.
A dart shot did not connect. Sentry v Sentry combat in the middle over there.
The outpost falls for Team Ultra. One hitter taking the advantage with 1,000 HP lead. The drone for one hitter starting to launch projectiles at that red hero, who's still lining up slow but steady shots.
Red Standard 4 is in a really bad position. Does not seem like it'll be able to move for the rest of the match unless it gets knocked off by one of its teammates. Both sentries at a standstill, not really firing at each other, just kind of watching each other, blocking that entire ramp off. Oh, they're pushing each other now. They're tackling. Blue Sentry decides to make a huge play, rushing Red's base, looking for the hero, I would assume.
The hero for iHitter landing a lot of these shots.
Immediately, holy, that's Blue Sentry for iHitter immediately takes out the red hero. It didn't even stand a chance to get away. The drone taking out Red Sentry as well. All the robots on Red's team are low or gone. The only thing we're still working is the engineer, who's hiding in his base.
Up, helping to take that sentry down. The hero is not going to be opposed at all. And I think one hitter, I believe, making the play that I support here, pushing forward with their hero. If you have the map advantage, you don't need to fire from so far away. This doesn't seem to be helping, though. They're firing really low. Their
accuracy did get lower. That dart counted as 1. That's so unfortunate. There we go. They found their rhythm. They found their accuracy.
Yeah, maybe.
Now
they're making those shots. I think they may have actually been doing better from that long-range sniper position.
Yeah. Spending all their ammo, only landing like 3 or 4 shots. That was a little bit of a misperformance, in my opinion, from iHitter, but they're still ahead by a decent amount. Your outpost is still up and spinning. Your base is invincible. You have the level lead on every robot. Your hero's level 10. Both your standards are level 8s compared to level 1s on the other team entirely.
100%. I do think, though, that they should have implemented that strategy we saw, was it yesterday or maybe Wednesday? They have so many of the red team robots down that they could have just pushed all the way up to the base and just mag dump onto the base armor panels.
I think that would have been really smart, actually. I agree with you there.
Point blank
that would have been what I would have done.
Would have been the more effective play.
Played the VT strat, if you will. All right.
I will,
Blue Hero 1. Blue Hero 1 deciding to stay as far away as possible and becoming more accurate as a result.
Yeah, but it's just the angle with the arc, right? These plates are more than a 45-degree angle, I believe. They're aiming fairly up. So being able to drop projectiles on it is helpful. I mean, as I say that, though, the hero still struggling to land.
Even Blue Standard 3 getting involved now, trying to take out some of the armor plates. There we go. Now you're getting some shots down. The base is not open, guys. You just need a couple more shots from the standard or 1 more shot from the hero. Then you can go base rush it if you really want to. Aiming a bit too low for that. We're seeing an ammo drop for the hero. 10 more projectiles supplied to it. Taking more shots. Still a little low. A little bit high. Right in the middle of that. A dart shot coming from Ultra misses. Doesn't quite hit the outpost yet.
Shaur, I have been surprised this season to see teams struggle to close out rounds. Right, these top tier teams like Hello World and One Hitter. I mean, obviously Hello World a bit was playing with their food, but One Hitter seems to be legitimately struggling to finish off this base against a team that basically isn't launching any projectiles at them.
Yeah, the base is now open, and now One Hitter looks like they're probably going to go down there and start doing damage with the standard. Took a while though for that to happen. We're at minute 2, and this game should have been over like 2 minutes before, at minute 4.
A one hitter definitely needs to adjust their ability to hit those top higher armor panels on the base for later
Absolutely.
rounds. They're going to need to be able to do a lot more DPS, have a higher hero
Or
accuracy.
they implement the VT strat and they just go behind the base and like
Sure.
chunk through all of its health at once.
Yeah,
Like it's very effective, and against a team like this where you're absolutely demolishing their entire team. Yeah, now they're playing the strat. However, I feel like they could have done this a lot earlier. And they're still missing point blank. Hello? Don't tell me he's jammed. Captain, don't say he's jammed. Oh, he's
no.
definitely jammed.
Oh no, chat.
Unfortunate reality for Blue Hero
The
1
producers
here. He was
went
doing
right to his
play.
live camera view to try and watch him end the game. Oh no.
Instead, Blue Standard 3 and Blue Standard 4 are going to be the ones to take out the base. No? Are they out of projectiles? They are out of projectiles. They've spent all their econ on the hero. Neither of them have projectiles available. Do a resupply pack. Come on. You can end it here. Resupply to your standards. They're right there. They're chilling. There we go.
Here it comes.
There's the resupply ammo dropping in for both Standard 3 and Standard 4. Just as I predicted. 80 projectiles
30
on both.
projectiles to hit, 60 projectiles to hit on the base.
Blue Standard 3 deciding actually it's not worth his time. Looking away, but going away now, deciding it's not his fight. He's gonna let the hero do it, who is standing all the way who is basically just lined up for the next round at this point. He's not even trying. Let's watch this engineer score instead.
Ooh, that is a difficult engineer position. If you're not familiar with RMUC, maybe you've only watched RMNA before, you have to get those cube from obviously the center or your silver location, and then you have to put it inside of an empty box. That box is going to orient itself at a different height, a different position, and a different angle, and you've got to line your box up to go inside. So
absolutely, the engineer does not get it in time for the match to be over. Both of these teams are solid.
yeah.
iHitter's hero leaves a lot to be desired, though, compared to some other top teams. I will be honest. Compared to some other top teams we've seen,
team hero.
That's not a top team hero by any means. It can't really do the snipe shots you would expect it to, and I felt like the hero didn't have the game sense to go in earlier when it was still able to launch projectiles. And then when it jammed, it's just like, wow, that's unfortunate. Yeah, see, like 74 shots, but couldn't take out the full base is quite unfortunate, in my opinion. That's a very interesting hit accuracy. I'm interested to see the accuracy of that hero specifically. It did land 5 sniper shots, but not enough, in my opinion, to really do any crazy damage. The eliminations here really are what made up the difference. iHitter was just so far ahead in eliminations. Red Standard 4 being out of the game probably also didn't help them by any means. Right here, when Blue Sentry pushes Red Standard 4 onto the ledge while it's knocked out, making it so it can't come back in any capacity, that was personal. The AI was definitely personally mad at Red Standard 4.
Yeah. So I agree. One hitter obviously won round 1 very definitively. There was no question about that. The engineer getting the MVP to me is fitting.
That feels fitting.
They did a great job. Look at those stats: 8.3 seconds, even faster than their average.
This was the robot that was highlighted for one hitter coming into this match. So it makes sense that they ended up becoming the MVP. They were absolutely grabbing so much econ. Like they had 900 gold to spare at the end of the match and were able to just airdrop so many supplies to all of their robots constantly. Yeah. Never had to even think about the econ.
I did worry. That was one of the more cringy finishes, frankly.
Absolutely.
Like it wasn't hard to watch. The robots were all doing fine. But I mean, for nigh on 3 minutes, we watched one hitter not have a single robot opposing them. All the other robots were dead and instantly spawn killed. No gold, no projectiles, no XP, and they just couldn't hit the dang armor panel.
It was a 6v0, and they just kept missing, which is really shocking to me. That doesn't feel like a top tier team, like a division, like a top 32 team even at RMUC finals. But you know, they are still a very strong team, I'm sure. Their standards were nothing to write home about. Those standards were awesome. They did an amazing job, really able to do a lot of the work, putting in a lot of the effort to get those early kills, keep the advantage as fast as possible. But yeah, the hero without that unjam button, like John is saying in chat, without the ability of like a forward assist unjam button, a little bit unfortunate to see that happen
What would you
in
want
one
from an
hitter's match.
unjam button? Would it be like a vibrate function? Would you just have a small, like uneven mass that would rotate to just shake everything in your robot?
That would be my assumption. I know that some people have like an unjam like push up that basically pushes the ball back in, almost like sucks it in through the indexer, and then tries to push it out again. Just or like vibrates the flywheels back and forth a little bit just to like try and get it out as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, that's like
Our
some basic functionality I've seen implemented for unjams.
That's true. Our double-barreled rail-mounted Sentry at Texas A&M had an unjam. So if it was trying to fire and
Mhm.
it wasn't able to fire, it would run its feed system backwards for a second and then forwards and then backwards and then forwards. And that would work fairly frequently. For the hero, those jams can be real nasty. I mean, we've discussed it with the Midwest Conference. I made a bet against Purdue because hero feeding is the most difficult projectile feed. Those golf balls are large. They have quite a bit of weight to them. They need a large
Mhm.
radius to turn well. They need low friction. You'll see top teams using small rollers along the whole edge of their path, and even that's not really always enough.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes it's a little bit unjamming is a tricky concept. It's not something that you just walk in and do, which is why I'm like not giving one hitter too much flack for not being able to unjam in the middle of the match. You know, it's difficult to do. We don't see it. If a jam happens, you don't expect to lose, right? You don't come in going, yes, today I will jam. Let me have to unjam myself now, right? You hope to just have it all built properly so you just avoid the jam in the first place. Anyways, the bases are closing up now. We're going to hit that referee system initialization. I'm going to turn on a light real quick. So I'm going to take my headphones off for a second. Preston, you're in charge.
Aha! What's up, chat? You know, in years past in RMNA, when heroes were basically just for launching at bases, I have proposed many times having a hero that only carries like 12 projectiles. But more on that later. 2-1, round
One
2 of Team Ultra
Ultra
versus Team
versus
One Hitter.
one
Let's
hitter.
go.
Both engineers are out again. I want to watch these engineers again. They're so fast at getting these cubes. Look at this. It's so like beautifully done. Oh, 2 cubes already for that team as well. Deposits them into the backpack so quickly. Both just out and about now. This time, however, one hitter does have the advantage going out first. We're
15
seeing some hero
projectiles
shots
on Team
going to the
Ultra's hero.
outpost.
He's landing the first couple projectiles.
Here we go. Look at this accuracy. This is good drone accuracy. This is solid. The base is the outpost is going down. Is landing some projectiles from the hero as well to kind of substitute some of the misses. However, Ultra's not too far behind. Ultra is still at 700 health on the outpost versus 250 is not a huge advantage. A dart almost making it would have definitely evened that out, but it didn't quite get there.
Yeah, but look at
A
the
lot of
hero
scuffle in the
now
middle.
taken out. Blue standard 3, blue standard 4, and the blue sentry all pushing up into the base.
Yeah, that blue sentry taking out both red hero and red standard 3 was incredibly like important. That sentry is absolutely insane for going all the way out there. Also, just happens to take out red standard 4 on its way back. It's a
Okay.
very aggressive sentry, and I kind of like that, honestly. It's really winning them the game here.
I agree. Compared to the previous century we watched, this is what I want to see from a top team century. 5
Absolutely.
minutes and 50 seconds into the game, we had already seen base damage done to Team Ultra. We'll see
Yeah.
how quick one hitter is able to kind of close this match up, close the round up.
Yep. Their hero is currently resupplying projectiles and will be back onto the field shortly. I'm sure they're going to push up pretty far. They have the entire center to themselves. Like, you might as well go all the way into the
Blue
center.
standard
right?
3 has not left his defensive position, though. He's just waiting for this hero to come back. Red hero trying to take some shots at the outpost, but will get chunked down to half health. A dart lands.
Lands? Against what? Against a red hero's base, or red's base, I assume.
I agree.
Next dart misses, not quite getting there. Hero shots are also missing. The drone is now going back into its position. Can't give any more suppressing fire. Can't help out at all at this point. 3 gold cubes on that engineer, by the way.
Yeah, and one hitter's smacking old Team Ultra with their wallet at this point. They've already sent the air assist, the loadout drop to Blue Standard 3. Blue Standard 3 just now going back for the first time in about 2 minutes.
Yeah. That level 10 standard, versus a level 1 and a level 3 essentially on the other team. It's a really the reason it can stay out for so long is because it keeps getting those resupply zones. You have so much econ, you can just spend it. Here comes the money.
Wow,
Money,
that blue
money,
engineer
money,
got the
money,
cube
money,
put away
money.
so quickly in that level 3 difficulty position.
Still
Watch the
has
Fox
2
choose
more.
a new position. Ooh, that's an easy position. Ah, there's the actual position. I was like, there's no way. Yeah, that's a
It's
very
still going to be
difficult
so quick.
angle.
Look at how quick, though. Rotating. I think it gets it still very quickly.
Yep.
Look at that. Exchanged immediately at the 3-star difficulty. So much econ again. 1950 to 730. Wow. Is that hero going to actually land shots?
There's
2 out of 3?
2 out of
Half
4.
accuracy.
2 out of 5. 2 out of
2 out of
6.
6. It's not looking great, Chet.
3 out of
3 out of
7 is
7.
not bad. 3 out of 8.
8.
3 out of
3 out of
9.
9.
3 out of
3 out
10.
of 10.
3 out of 11.
3 out of 11.
Okay, we'll stop counting.
That's
okay.
Oh, 4 out of 12. Yeah, it's not
I
great.
mean, they
A
did
1/3
enough. The dart
accuracy.
combined got the base under 2,000 fast enough that they should be able to push forward, especially if this sentry is going to play aggressive, as it is prone to do.
Yeah, the
Oh
sentry
my
is very
goodness, it
aggressive.
absolutely nukes red standard 4.
It knew what
Wow.
it was going to do. It was like, I'm not going to let you go to anywhere. Does it see red hero 1? Is it going to go attack? Oh, it sees the
We're back for
engineer.
the engineer.
Decided that, no, you don't get any econ either. Running into its own teammate, trying to chase down red engineer, deciding that actually I'm the hero. I'm going to go in. I'm
Blue
the hero of this
sentry
team.
is playing for that KDA. Will not give away kills. It's greeting real bad.
Blue Sentry can't even level up at any point in the game, deciding that it's going to be the one to take it out.
The
Look at
red
how
hero, 2
accurate
shots
the
in a
red
row.
hero is. It's so far away as well. That is the farthest we've seen a hero be launching and actually like getting score. I think it's out of projectiles, unfortunately. Just the econ difference is really what's making the issue for the red hero right now. It just does not have enough gold in order to be able to actually make those shots. It's purchased 6 more projectiles though. It is going back to that zone. Blue standard 3 trying to make it there to stop it from firing. Blue hero just playing its own game at this point. Surely you get closer, right? Surely you get closer at this point. All right, we're seeing some shots coming in. A little low.
Not only is the shot harder to make from back there, but it's really difficult to see how you're missing, right? From this angle, it's super obvious and kind of infuriating. John's a big fan of the lob shot, but for me, the lob shot is very pretty from the side view. From the back, it's really tough to see if you're too high or too long or too short. Too low.
One of the standards knocked over on its side. Couldn't quite tell which one.
Looks like a blue bot.
Looks like a blue bot. Maybe blue standard 4. I believe that is the balancing on their team.
Is there a balancing bot?
There is a balancing on blue standard 4. Yes.
Huh. I'm not sure what's going on with the red engineer. He's had this cube for a long time.
Oh, and there it goes. He no longer has that cube.
Sorry, bud.
Here we see the drone now taking some shots at the base. Everyone is just firing at this base. This is the problem that if one hitter can't seem to solve the closing out of this, they're going to lose to a lot of teams. They just need to be able to close out these matches in this situation, right? This should be an easy dub.
I don't know why how is their hero dead? How was the one hitter hero out?
I think it's the bot that's upside down.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
I think it jumped off.
Really struggling to have accuracy on a very
I think it jumped off that platform and fell straight over on its side, Preston, as it tried last time. Blue Center 3 just kind of chilling as well. 244 projectiles could start launching at the base at any time. Could just decide that it wants to start firing.
The blue engineer is still the MVP of the team. I mean, look at him just cashing those gold cubes away. One hitter, a definitive win for round 1, a definitive win for round 2. But not a win that gives me a lot of confidence right now in their performance in, let's say, top 16. Or even top, 32, frankly. In their region, I think they'll do fine. As soon as they're out of the central region, I do think they will really struggle if this is the best that they've got for the last 4 minutes of each round. They need to find another gear.
Yeah, they got to be able to close out these matches, man. You can't, they do so well in the outpost. They get the base to a decent amount of health. The plates are open, and then the hero just can't close it out. It jams, it falls over, whatever ends up happening. Maybe this was an unlucky 2 games, but you know,
Mm,
you can't treat this like coincidence, in my opinion. You gotta be upfront of it. But yeah,
yeah. And round one, like if you're, I don't know, if you don't know it's a problem yet, right? If it's one of your early
yeah,
regional games, but
maybe
these
you come
weren't
back.
like mechanical mishaps. These were some low accuracy moments, but mixed with choosing to fire from really far away, choosing not to push up close. I mean, 14 to 2 kills. It's the same story as,
Yeah.
Taylor's oldest time.
The
Taylor's
real
oldest
thing
the last
is,
30
I'm
minutes.
gonna pause this for a second and come back because I wanted to point this out. Look at this econ differential: 3,240
Yeah.
to 1123. Just not even a contest when it comes to the engineer econ.
Last year when I was commentating the RMUC International Finals, we
Mhm.
would keep track of what team could get the highest econ.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, because it's a really interesting stat to keep track of. You need to counter
Mhm.
jungle. You need to push all the way in your
Yeah.
enemy's team and grab their silver cubes. Excuse me. Um, and then you still need to do that fast enough and have enough map control that you can also get. Oh yeah, give it to the sentry.
The Sentry,
100%.
absolutely. That robot, crazy at the KDA. Look at that. 6 kills, 2 assists. That robot was taking names, man. That robot was the Doom
Kind of the
Slayer
reason they
from
won.
Doom.
Hot
Oh,
take, but
absolutely.
their whole team was struggling to really push objectives forward. They won
Yeah.
because they had 6 minutes to do anything, and they
Yeah.
had all of that time because the sentry was just taking care of the whole team for them. They said,
Yeah,
"Hey guys, you
absolutely.
guys are just at the range. Y'all just do target practice. The sentry's got it locked down."
Kind of insane, honestly, from one hitter. That Sentry is really scary. The fact that it will just rush you at every instance, it'll hit its own teammates to get to you.
Yeah.
That's a scary Sentry. That's not a team player, but that is absolutely a really strong
Hey,
robot.
hey, he was the team. He was the
He
team
was the
player.
team. You don't need to be the team. There is no I in team, but there is a me, and that me is Sentry.
Yeah. So I will say, from my perspective, the hardest thing on the team is the sentry, and since that looks so good for one hitter or I hitter, I
Yeah,
do believe that they could make some small and simple changes to really push themselves up in the performance level for the year. But as we
absolutely.
saw in that match, not super impressed, but good wins, right? But for a team that was fourth and then third or whatever that for the last 2 years, that's poor performance for that caliber of team. Great
Yeah,
performance and cool robots and excellent, reliability from these bots from a general perspective though.
yeah, absolutely.
All right, Shar. I've got a question of the day. Um,
Oh, I'm so excited. Let's do it.
I'm glad. I really am curious to hear your thoughts. Chat, make sure you chime in as well. Remember that you can throw us some questions of the day. Don't be offended if I don't pick them. Also, remember we're doing 3 streams a week. That's like 150 streams a year, so we'll get around to it.
Is that
But this
150
month
streams in a year?
is
That has to be.
RMNA
Yeah.
month. I want to know what would be a good grand prize, and let me go first while you're thinking. I'm not going to give my answer. I'm going to
Mhm.
pose why this is even a question. Because
Mhm.
perhaps you're joining us or maybe you're seeing a VOD of this or someone's showing it to you to try to introduce you to RoboMasters and you're saying, "Cash, bro, the world's best prize." But let me tell you a story of what would happen if we had $1,000 grand prize for RMNA. The teams would be in an uproar that the biggest, most well-fundedest teams are winning money to go towards their well-fundedest teams. All right? That's
Mhm.
what would happen. 100%. The community as a whole would be frustrated that your big teams with lots of members and lots of sponsors and lots of financial support and a history of doing really well are the most likely to win. And what are they winning? They're winning cash. And where's some of that cash coming from? Some of that cash is going to be coming from entry fees from other teams. And so your little teams are going
Yeah.
to get really upset that their members are paying in and they're doing bake sales and they're hitting up their parents and they're going out to try and grind for cash that's going into the pockets of Big Daddy Washington, right? So that's why this is a question. Money can totally still be your answer, but I do wonder if you have any ideas. We're talking in an ideal world. So let's pretend that
An ideal
RMNA as an
world.
organization is well funded. Let's say that
Mhm.
next year Shaur and Preston and Rep are just knocking it out of the park. Everyone's giving us their Twitch Prime subs, and we're like, we have 2 grand to put up for
Yep.
RMNA,
Yep.
what are you going to spend it on? Are you making cool custom trophies? Are you giving everyone a ribbon? Like, what are you doing with $2,000 for 2026 RMNA prizes?
I think there's like a good grand prize is like three things, right? There's three things I want to put here. One, a really nice trophy that is unique to where it was hosted. I think this is one of the most interesting things about Robomasters that differentiates us from a lot of other robotics comps. We move around the whole US. We were in Colorado, we were in Texas, we were in Washington, we're now going to San Diego. Like, and all these are like places that you can really like inspire into your trophy, right? And our trophy designs haven't really felt that yet. The Colorado one was mountains, which is really, really cool. And I really appreciate that because it really gives like character, like this is the year you won, right? This is your trophy, your win. No one can take that from you. And sure, if we go back, maybe you have to change the trophy a little bit, make it a little bit nicer. But I think a really nice custom trophy would be so, so nice, right? That's my first thing. Number two, this might be the controversial one. My second idea as well, on top of that, is like, it would be nice if we have 2K, right?
Yep.
It would be nice if we could somehow like fund a team, not with like their robots, but fund like a couple of their members or something to go and like for like a work study or something like with DJI or whatever partner we're with, right? Like, because that's one thing that they get in China. I know if you win RMNA or Masters in China, you get like instant job opportunities in
Yeah.
China, and I'm like that like translating that somehow with like either we partner with specific companies and we're like, hey, like take interviews from the team that wins, so like that, right? Or something like that. Like we could do that maybe would be really interesting and still offer like a monetary incentive without directly making it so the team always getting like better engine, like they're not getting like better funding. Their engineers that are already good are getting better opportunities,
Yeah.
right? That's one thing. I think we're doing this already for every team with the resume book, regardless, like just sending that out to companies that are sponsoring us. But maybe like a little bit more hands-on like work there would be good for like the top teams. And my third and final thing, and this is the one that I'm like, this is the one I'm interested to hear your thoughts, Preston. But I think it would be kind of cool if we did like, I think it'd be really cool if we like the winners like got some sort of like recognition in the community, like you know, like the winner of that year, like the people who were on that drive team, people who were on the pit crew. This kind of ties into yesterday's question a little bit too. I'm thinking like a role in Discord that's like 2025 RMNA drive team winner or something like that, right? And it's like it'd just be kind of cool to see that in there as well, get a little bit of like community recognition for you individually, not just the team, but the individuals on the team as well. And yeah, maybe like a dinner situation as well with the winners would be kind of nice, like John's saying, like just to like recognize the actual people behind it. Because we recognize the teams very well, in my opinion. We talk teams a lot, but I think there's a human element to all the teams that we kind of miss out on sometimes. And this again goes back to yesterday's conversation with Elizabeth. Um, and then I think we could definitely maybe do at least for the winners, if not for everyone. We should do it for everyone, but I think it could be really nice to play for like the winners and like putting them a bit more on a pedestal like that, right? Not a pedestal, but like a little bit more in the spotlight, right? Being like videos on them, an interview on them or something, like, you know, put like a documentary together for them. As the media team, I think it'd be so cool. Like a documentary on the winners and how they won throughout the year. That'd be really sick. But yeah. What are your
Okay.
thoughts, Preston? I'm sure you have a lot of thoughts and
I have
probably a lot
some
of
thoughts.
disagreements with what I said.
I have some thoughts. I really love John, thanks for throwing some of your suggestions in there. I love the comically large trophy.
Yeah. Yep.
I
Yep.
want a trophy that's big enough. I want the League of Legends moment at the end. I
I
want the
want them
five
to raise it
people
up.
to be able to pick it up together. I want them to be able
Yeah.
to touch it and grab it and not look silly. I love the Colorado trophies, but they were tiny. I
They were small.
have on a shelf in my living room. I have the RMNA trophy. It's this big. The I have the tiny golden glove, right? Like it's
Yeah.
little guy. It's cool. It's a super cool trophy. It's excellent.
Mhm.
So are the Colorado trophies, but they're so tiny, right?
Make them
So
huge.
I do like comically large.
Yeah.
Love that. I am on board for location themed. I think that's really cool. I
Yeah.
would also be down for like a Stanley Cup kind of thing where it's
Mhm.
one trophy and it just we engrave the team and the year and it
Yeah.
just moves and you just have it for the year.
Mhm.
I think that would be really cool. I wish there were some small free things available. So like
Yeah.
if your team won, I want your team, that team photo, those five people to be
Mhm.
the banner background for RMNA's website for the year. right? Like
Okay.
right now,
Okay.
when you go to RMNA 2025, that website, when you go to RMNA right now,
Mhm.
you should see the 2024 University of Washington 5-man squad. Um, that's something I would really, really like. And then I think the last thing for me is
Mhm.
I want freaking sick RoboMasters champion hoodies. This sounds terrible, but hear me out. Hear me out.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Winners jackets. Only winners. And I would
Mhm.
be so strict on this. Not
Yeah.
staff, not operators, not Yibo, not me, no one else.
No
Zero
one
other
else.
people. Winners RoboMasters North America hoodies that have like on the cuff like
Mhm.
the little R on one cuff, and then like on the sleeve like or something somewhere cool where it says like RMNA 2025 World Champions or whatever, right? Because like RMNA is truly now just the everyone else region. Um, that's what I want, and I think it's totally doable. And I think 2 grand gets us some sweet trophies and some awesome hoodies. I think hoodies is the right call because people will actually like them and use them. I think if you go with like a suit jacket or something crazy like a I don't know, a big bomber jacket or a Letterman jacket or something. No one wears their
Yeah.
Letterman's jacket anymore because it's a Letterman's jacket, right? Like we have them
Yeah.
all from
Yeah.
high school, and then you just stick it in your closet. And now it's been 10 years, and if I wear my Letterman's jacket, like I'm going through a midlife crisis. You know what I'm saying? But if I have a
Yeah, I think a
cool
hoodie,
black
a
hoodie with
cool
some
hoodie.
sick
Yeah.
low key call outs to the fact that world champion, I think
Mhm.
that'd be awesome.
That would be cool. I like that. Bomber jackets? I kind of like bomber jackets. I'll keep it real.
Bomber
John's
jackets could be
putting in
cool,
chat. Bomber jackets are cool. I
not
like
leather jackets, and
not
not
leather jackets.
and not bucket hats. Bucket hats are a fun thing.
They're a little silly for like a winning thing. Like if you're gonna win,
Yeah,
you want something that you can like showcase off. But yeah. The only thing about leather jackets that are kind of interesting is like we could make
tweak
it so you get a patch per win, but like I don't really like that. What's
idea
up?
idea.
Idea.
The winning team gets these sweet winners hoodies or bomber jackets or whatever, right?
Mhm.
The commentator pick team
Mhm.
gets bucket hats. We
That's
should
a
have
make our own custom
we
bucket
should
hat.
totally make like a rep or an
Mhm.
RMNA commentators pick team of the year bucket hats.
Embroidered baseball hats with like
That'd be
RMNA
cool.
Grand Champions on it. I could go with baseball hats as well. That's
Yeah,
an interesting one. I think I like jacket because it's more applicable. You can wear a jacket almost anywhere,
maybe
right?
both. I mean, if we're talking two
Maybe
grand,
both.
maybe you make
Maybe
uh
make both.
maybe you
Like a
make
whole
both, and
whole
then
outfit.
bigger teams can kind of distribute it, right? Maybe you do like
Yeah.
12 jackets, 12 hats. You give
Mhm.
it to the team. They can split it up
Yeah.
as they want.
Yeah.
Maybe their president gets both or something, and then everyone else, like it just kind of trickled down. Maybe your
Yeah.
drivers. It's up to your team. I don't care.
Yeah. I think the last thing I'm thinking that would be kind of fun, right? Is the like the wrestling like
Singlet?
champions
What are you talking about?
the robes, like the robes they
Okay.
wear.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm thinking the belt would be really fun. I think a champion's
No.
belt would be hype. But I think, yeah, the robes. I'm thinking you give
No.
them robes and they can wear it at the
No.
next competition. It just says like RMA champion on the back, right?
Oh my
That would be
gosh.
fun. And they got
No.
they got the shiny sheen on it.
That's
Come on, that's
crazy.
hype.
No.
Speaking of awards, by the way, Preston, what kind of awards do we want to give as commentators this year? I'm giving the Shaur Style Award. I'm planning that one out already. I'm planning out a leak stream award based on the leaks that we've been getting for that leak stream. Plus, we're getting more at this point. People really want a part 2 to that, so we're probably doing a part 2 soon. What other awards are you interested in giving out as commentary, Preston? I know we gave a best match award before,
We
which was
did.
pretty fun.
We did
Yeah.
some match of the day awards. I really liked
Yep.
those.
Yep.
I think if we could do those again with something awesome like some merch or something, that'd be super sweet.
Absolutely.
Um,
We did the manifolds that one year. We gave the DJI manifolds out. Do you remember?
we did, yeah.
That was a crazy give out. Yeah.
I would love to do like based on our conversation yesterday, I'd love to do a
Mhm.
driver award.
Driver of the day.
Kind of like an
Yeah.
MVP of the day, like the whole
MVP of
freaking
the
day.
day.
Who clutched it up?
Who clutched it up? That would be cool.
That'd be a good one.
John, what's your sick idea for a driver award? Pass it to us. I'm curious for this. Driver award is good. I like that idea, and that also gives us the ability to interview like one of those drivers on stream when we give it to them. Get in their mindset, get them on the stream, get their Heisman moment up. That'd be sick. That'd be sick. Ooh, we should start like a Google sheet called like the RMNA Hall of Fame when it comes to drivers as well. If we're gonna do a driver award, and then we can like induct quote unquote a driver every year. That way, it also like we give like an overall driver award, right, for the whole weekend. Who was like the most clutch driver, so sick, or something like that. You know, it's kind of like that.
Drivers should get like something sick. Like, how much would it
Yeah,
cost, do you think, to get like a Robomaster branded, like a nice mouse?
a nice mouse.
Well, I have I have one of the G703 light
Yeah,
speeds that like
I have a hero.
automatically, that like that recharges on my mat and whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like $100, right? That's well
yeah.
within the realm of like one award per year. If we get one of
Mhm.
these and then get like
Like
laser
a
engraved or
Robomaster,
something on the outer
yeah,
casing,
yeah.
just the R underneath where the G is,
That would be
think
sick.
it's super cool. And
That'd be
it kind of
really cool,
calls out to
actually.
like the fact that this is a gamer award, like you're the big
Yeah,
winner,
you're the big gamer. You're the big esporter. But
big
yeah,
nerd gaming.
we should also do then like a robot award, best robot design. Like not just like aesthetically, but like you know engineering wise, and then maybe give like a similar like style like engineering award almost. Not necessarily like an engineering like thing. Maybe like a really nice wrench that has like a Robomaster logo carved into it.
Yeah, be
An
cool.
idea for like a driver Heisman that involves audience voting and like commentator previews before the tourney actually starts to actually build narratives. Commentator previews is an interesting thing. What do you mean by that? MVP moments? This is part of the thing that I want to implement with clipping.
So I think by previews, I would assume that he means like before the tournament, we're talking about who's kind of in the running, like
Yeah.
who are the standouts last year, who almost got that award last year, who's
Mhm, mhm.
pushing, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
this year, maybe we're talking about, oh, like is Elizabeth going to be driving? This is her last year. She's
yeah.
graduating, right? Maybe we're talking about, oh, NUS is actually coming back. Yeah, exactly. We pick kind of 8
With like
people
big
that are
names.
we
Gotcha.
think going to be in the running for, and then maybe there's this crazy Cinderella story where they come out of nowhere, right? But
I'm so happy I put that thing down to take pictures of the drivers and the robots and such because this is going to play perfectly into that. We're going to have all those pictures lined up. I could edit together a little, like, the Formula One intro where it has like all the drivers and they stare at the camera. There's like the hype music behind it. I could edit together something like that with the pictures that we get. It wouldn't take too long to do in a one night sitting after we get those pictures Monday and Tuesday. It wouldn't take too long. Wouldn't take too long.
smoke machine, smoke
Smoke
machine,
machine,
smoke machine,
smoke machine.
smoke
They
machine.
come out from the smoke machine. And in this
Dude,
quarter,
yeah, okay, so I don't think you never got to go to China, Shar.
I've never
So
gone to
when
China.
you go to the international finals in China and you're
Mhm.
competing, you run out of a tunnel and it's full of smoke and there's a cameraman jogging like behind you, like running backwards in front of you, shaking the camera back and forth like this so that it's like whoosh,
How
whoosh,
much does
whoosh.
a smoke machine cost?
The smoke machines are nothing. Smoke machines are nothing.
I buy a smoke
We could
machine
probably
and bring it
rent
out.
one. I think party rental places just rent them to you.
Oh, you're right. Party City is probably in San
Yeah.
Diego,
Yeah,
and
you
we'll
could
give us
probably
a
just
smoke
get one for
machine.
like $40 for the
Sponsored
weekend.
by Party City.
Yeah, we just need to check and see if the price center is okay with us running a smoke machine.
Yep, yep.
But that was
But
the
it can be
question for
fun
the
to
day.
follow.
We put it in there that way Shar and I don't ramble every day. We've got 150 chances every year to talk about all sorts of stuff. So chat, thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. I'm now in love. I hadn't thought about my answer to this question yet, but now
Yeah,
I really want to help produce these sick like winners hoodies.
absolutely. We should definitely talk to
Probably,
the operators and be like, "Can we do this?"
yeah, probably not this year because it's already
Part
June.
of this year, we have
But
$0.
coming soon. I mean, we've got hot take, but this year I put together the Robomasters North America like operations polos.
Mhm. Yeah,
Hopefully they're great. I haven't seen them in person yet, but I saw the preview and they looked really good.
sure, they look
So
great.
embroidered polos, American sizes, which is good because it will no longer look like I'm wearing a child shirt. So I have learned that if that our team is that our organization is now big enough that if we buy something like that, we do get a fair price.
Yeah.
So we could totally do it.
Cool.
All right.
Good stuff, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. For those of you who did, hope you enjoyed those matches and enjoyed our question of the day. Please leave us suggestions for more questions of the day. We're happy to take them. I might actually set up the suggestions box on Twitch so people can drop them in even when we're not like online.
That'd be great.
Yeah, and we will catch you guys Wednesday with more RMUC. Bye everyone.